I slammed the car door so hard the neighbor's dog started barking. But I didn't care. My heels clicked like gunfire on the wet pavement as I stormed up the driveway. The voicemail replaying in my head on a loop. Her voice, soft and mocking, whispering those words into my husband's ear. Your touch still lingers. Baby. Come back to me. It wasn't just infidelity. It was a grenade lobbed into the heart of everything we'd built. Our home. Our daughter. Our fragile little American dream in this godforsaken cul-de-sac of lies. By the time I burst through the front door, keys jangling like accusations, Ethan was already in the kitchen, pouring a whiskey neat, his broad shoulders tense under that crisp button-down from his tech job downtown. He turned, eyes widening in that fake surprised way men do when they've been caught. But I saw the flicker, the calculation. Nova, you're home early. Everything okay at the gallery? I threw my purse at his feet, lipstick and tampons spilling out like guts. Who the fuck is she? Ethan? The one whose touch still lingers? Don't lie to me. I heard her. On your phone. While I was picking up Lily from ballet. You coward. He froze, glass halfway to his lips, the ice clinking like a death knell. For a split second, I thought he'd deny it, spin some bullshit about a wrong number or a prank call. But then his face twisted, not into remorse, but something darker, like a mask slipping off. Nova, he said, voice low and steady, the kind he used in boardrooms to close deals. You weren't supposed to hear that. But since you did. Yeah. It's her. It's always been her. And just like that, with those 8 words, he didn't just confess, he declared war. The rain hammered the roof like it was trying to drown out the truth. But nothing could wash away the rot I'd ignored for years. Ethan and I met in college at UCLA. Back when LA felt like a playground of endless summers and stolen kisses under palm trees. He was the golden boy from Orange County, surfing at dawn, coding apps by night, with that easy grin that made professors overlook his half-assed essays. I was the art kid from the Midwest, scraping by on scholarships, painting murals of fractured skylines because my own family had shattered mine. Mom ODing on pills when I was 12, Dad vanishing into the bottle after. Ethan called me his wildfire, said I burned bright enough for both of us. We married right after graduation, bought this split level in Pasadena with his startup bonus, popped out Lily 2 years later. It was the script, house, kid, 401k. The American way, right? Until it wasn't. That night, after his confession hung in the air like smoke, he didn't beg for forgiveness. No. Ethan paced the kitchen island, whiskey sloshing, laying it out like a pitch deck. Her name was Riley Voss, blonde, ambitious, the kind of woman who wore power suits like armor and laughed like she owned the room. They'd reconnected 6 months ago at a tech conference in Vegas. It was networking. Nova, he said, I's not meeting mine. 1 drink turned into 2. And shit happens. But I knew better. I'd seen the late nights, the client dinners, the way his phone buzzed under pillows. And now, the voicemail. Proof. Why her? I whispered, my voice cracking like cheap canvas. Lily was upstairs, oblivious, her nightlight casting stars on the ceiling. I couldn't let this touch her, not yet. Ethan stopped pacing, leaned against the counter, and fixed me with that CEO stare. Because Riley gets it. The grind. The ambition. You're always lost in your paints. Nova.
This house.
Lily, it's your world.
But mine?
It's bigger. She sees that. I laughed, bitter and sharp, tasting blood where I'd bitten my lip. Bigger? You mean screwing around while I hold everything together? While I cover for your screw-ups at work. That was the buried secret. The one I'd carried like a stone in my gut for a year. Ethan's last big project at Nexus Labs, an AI ethics app that glitched during beta testing, exposing user data to hackers. It could have tanked the company, cost jobs, ruined lives. But I'd taken the fall. Forged a memo in my name as the freelance consultant, claiming it was my oversight.
Why?
Because I loved him. Because we had Lily. Because in this economy, with my art barely paying the bills, we needed his salary. I'd buried it deep. Told myself it was a one-time thing.
But now?
It felt like the first crack in a dam. He knew.
Of course he did.
You think that makes us even? He sneered, setting the glass down with a thud. You covered for me because you're weak. Nova. Riley? She'd never stooped that low. She's building empires, not hiding in suburbia.
Weak.
The word hit like a slap. I grabbed the nearest thing, a ceramic mug from our honeymoon in Big Sur, and hurled it at him. It shattered against the fridge, shards skittering across the tile. Get out, I hissed. Take your lies and your lingering touch and go.
He didn't.
Instead, he stepped closer, voice dropping to that manipulative purr. Think about Lily. Divorce? In this town, you be the broke artist mom scraping by on alimony scraps. I pay the mortgage. Nova. I make the rules. That was Ethan, flipping the script, turning victim into villain. He always did it. Ever since college pranks that left me holding the bag for his vandalism charges. But this was betrayal on steroids, laced with the threat of dismantling our life. I shoved him. Hard. My nails digging into his arm. Rules? Fuck your rules. I'm done playing. He grabbed my wrists. Not rough, but firm enough to remind me of his size, 6'2". Gym rat build. Careful. Wildfire. You start a fire. It burns everything. We stood there, locked in that toxic standoff. The rain a relentless drumbeat. Upstairs, Lily whimpered in her sleep. I yanked free, chest heaving. Sleep on the couch. Tomorrow. We talk lawyers. As he slunk off, muttering about overreacting, I slid to the floor amid the mug shards, glass biting into my palms. Blood welled, warm and real, the only honest thing in the room. That's when the real rage ignited, not hot and fast, but cold, methodical, like the slow burn of a cigarette left smoldering in an ashtray. Revenge wasn't a scream, it was a plan. And mine started with digging up every skeleton in his closet. The next morning, Lily bounced down the stairs in her unicorn pajamas, oblivious to the war zone. Mommy. Pancakes, she chirped, her dark curls my curls bouncing. Ethan was already gone. Off to work, probably to Riley's sleek condo in Silver Lake. I forced a smile, flipping batter, while my mind raced. First, the phone. I'd seen him leave it charging. While Lily chattered about school, I swiped it, heart pounding. No passcode, arrogant bastard. Texts to our flooded the screen, miss you already. Nova suspects nothing. Photos. 2. Riley in lingerie. Ethan's hands on her hips. Time-stamped during my solo gallery openings. But deeper in, buried under apps, was the real poison. Emails from Nexus Labs HR, dated a month after the glitch. Ethan Harlow, formal warning for unauthorized code modifications. They'd suspected him, but the memo, my forged memo, had thrown them off. And then, a chain with Riley. She took the hit for you. Leverage that. Riley wasn't just the mistress. She was the puppeteer. The schemer who'd whispered in his ear to let me dangle. I forwarded it all to my email, deleted the traces, and slipped the phone back. Lily tugged my sleeve. Mommy sad. Her big eyes, so like Ethan's,
Pierced me.
Not anymore, baby, I said,
Kissing her forehead.
Mommy's just waking up. That afternoon, I called in sick to the gallery, my boss, a chain-smoking ex-hippie named Carla, didn't blink, and drove to a dingy PI office in East LA. The guy, Vic Russo, looked like he'd stepped out of a noir flick. Trench coat, perpetual 5 o'clock shadow.
Coffee breath.
Revenge divorce? He grunted, lighting a smoke despite the no-smoking sign. Revenge everything, I corrected, sliding over a retainer check. Track Riley Voss. Her ties to Ethan.
To his work.
Anything dirty. Vic eyed me, appraising. You sure,
Lady?
this town's full of skeletons. Might bury you too. I leaned in, voice steel. Bury him first. By evening, Ethan came home with flowers, roses. Blood red. Like he thought clichés fixed fractures. Truce, he offered, setting takeout from our favorite Thai spot on the table. Lily squealed at the pad CEW. And, for a moment, we played house. But under the table, my foot pressed send on a text to Vic, start digging. That night, as Ethan snored beside me, demoted to the bed after his couch sulk, I lay awake, plotting. The betrayal cut deep, but the secret I'd carried? That was the hook in my gut. I'd borne his crime, his mistake, for the sake of us.
Now.
I'd make him bear mine. Days blurred into a tense standoff. Ethan played the penitent husband, date nights at trendy Echo Park spots, where he'd murmur apologies over craft cocktails, his hand on my knee like nothing had changed. But I saw the glances at his phone, the way he'd excuse himself to take a call. Riley was a ghost in our home, her perfume lingering on his collars like a taunt. Vic's first report landed via encrypted email, Riley Voss, 32. Rising star at a rival firm. Quantum Edge. Not just Ethan's side piece, she'd been feeding him insider tips. Helping Nexus's app innovate by cribbing code. Corporate espionage. If you squinted. And get this, Riley had a history. A whistleblower suit from her last gig. Settled out of court. She'd flipped on her own team to save her skin. Then sued for retaliation. A schemer? Understatement. She was a chameleon, flipping alliances like pancakes. But the kicker, a photo. Grainy but clear, Riley and Ethan. Not in Vegas, but here in Pasadena, outside our house, 2 months ago. While I was at a parent-teacher conference. Your touch still lingers. Bullshit. It never left. I confronted him that weekend, Lily at a playdate. He was in the garage, tinkering with his Tesla, his pride, that electric beast symbolizing his green success. I thrust the printout under his nose. Explain this. His face drained of color, then flushed red. Stalking me now? Jesus. Nova. This is harassment. Harassment? You mean like fucking your work wife while I raise our kid? I snatched a wrench from the bench, hefting it not to swing, but to let him see the weight. Or, like letting me take the fall for your hack job at work. I forged that memo.
Ethan. Me.
Because I thought we were a team. He lunged, grabbing the wrench, twisting it free. For a heartbeat, we were nose to nose, breaths mingling hot and furious. You think you're the victim? Riley's the one who got me the promotion. She's the future. You're the anchor dragging me down. Anchor. The word echoed my father's slurs before he left. I headbutt him, not hard, but enough to split his lip. Blood beaded, and he staggered back, shock morphing to rage. You crazy bitch. Get out, I snarled again, this time meaning it. Or I send every email, every photo, to your boss. To hers. Watch your empires crumble. He wiped his mouth, eyes narrowing like a cornered wolf. You wouldn't. Lily deserves better than a liar for a dad. But even as I said it, doubt wormed in. Was I destroying her world to save mine? The controversy gnawed. Was I the vengeful harpy? Or the betrayed wife fighting back? He left that night, duffel in hand, tires screeching down the cul-de-sac. Neighbors peeked through blinds, whispers already brewing. Pasadena wasn't forgiving to messy divorces. Alone with Lily, I tucked her in, reading Goodnight Moon with a voice that trembled. Mommy and Daddy need space, I explained when she asked. Her lower lip quivered. Will he come back? I swallowed the lump. If he knows what's good for him. But deep down, I knew space was just the prelude to the storm. The house felt hollow without him. Echoes bouncing off walls painted in that neutral beige we'd picked together from Home Depot. Lily's questions peppered every meal. Where's Daddy's pancakes? And I dodged with distractions, finger paints at the kitchen table. Her tiny hands smearing chaos on newsprint while I sipped black coffee, plotting in the margins of my mind. The gallery called. Carla sensed the fracture in my voice. Take the weak.
Kid.
Art waits for no one's broken heart. Grateful. I dove into my own canvas, a storm cloud over the Hollywood sign. Lightning forking like veins. Vic's updates trickled in, each one a venomous drip. Riley wasn't just scheming, she was a serial flipper. College dropout who'd clawed her way up through tech bros, sleeping her way to VPs, then leaking their secrets when they turned disposable. One ex had OD'd, pills, like my mom, after she exposed his embezzlement to climb the ladder. Coincidence? Vic thought not. And Ethan? He'd been her mark for years. Ever since UCLA alumni mixers. She'd played long game, waiting for his marriage to fray. Empowered by the intel, I lawyered up. My attorney, a shark named Lena Ortiz from a downtown firm catering to creative professionals, reviewed the files over Zoom. Her red lips curling. This is gold. Nova. Infidelity. Potential fraud. We can gut him on custody. Assets. But her eyes held caution. Revenge porn?
Nah.
Stick to the legal. Or you'll look unhinged. Unhinged. The word stung, echoing Ethan's taunts.
Was I?
Late nights. I'd scroll Riley's Insta. Curated perfection. Yoga poses at Runyon Canyon. Brunches at the Ivy. Captions like hustle harder. Love softer. Bullshit. I created a burner account at Pasadena Phantom and started seeding doubt. Anonymous tips to her firm's ethics hotline. Vague enough to spook but not trace. Check Voss's Nexus ties. Insider trading? Watched the likes dwindle. Comments turn snide.
Petty?
Hell yes.
Cathartic?
Like exhaling after holding breath for a decade. Ethan reached out via text. Radio silence broken by a plea. Can we talk? For Lily. I agreed. Neutral ground. A park in Griffith. Eucalyptus shading the benches where joggers pounded trails oblivious to personal apocalypses. He arrived in chinos and a polo, looking every inch the remorseful dad, Lily's favorite stuffed giraffe in hand. She ran to him, squealing, and for 10 minutes, we were a family fractured but functional, pushing her on swings, her laughter a bomb. Then, alone while she chased ducks,
He leaned in.
I miss you, Nova. This. Riley was a mistake. A midlife glitch. His hand brushed mine, familiar spark flickering despite the hate. Come home. We fix this. I pulled away, the touch lingering like her voicemail taunt. Home? You mean the house you fucked her outside? While I sat through PDA bullshit, his jaw tightened. That was one time. Lies. I slapped Vic's latest dossier on the bench, printouts of hotel receipts. Her credit card hits syncing with his business trips. You've been playing me since Vegas. And the glitch? You let me burn for it. Why? He scanned the pages, face paling. How did you, Nova? Listen. Riley pushed me. Said it'd boost my stock if we borrowed ideas. I panicked. Altered the code. You forging that? It saved us. Saved you, I corrected. Voice ice. I could have lost my reputation. My visa status. I'm still on that green card treadmill.
Ethan.
You knew. He shifted, eyes darting like a cornered exec. I covered your ass too. Remember that gallery theft last year? Your missing sculpture? I paid off the alarm guy quietly. We're even. Theft. My mind reeled. The bronze piece. Shattered vows. Vanished from Carla's show. Insurance denied. Suspecting insider job. I'd chalked it to bad luck. But Ethan paying bribes? Flipping again. Turning protector into perpetrator. You think that makes us square? You stole my peace. My trust. A jogger paused, eyeing us warily. Controversy brewed even here, in broad daylight. Was he right? Had I overlooked his sacrifices? Lily toddled back, breaking the tension. Daddy, push higher.
He did.
Beaming that grin. But I saw the calculation, using her as shield. As we packed up, he whispered, Don't drag this out. Nova. Riley's got dirt too. On you. The threat landed like a gut punch. What dirt? My forged memo? Or something buried deeper? That night, paranoia clawed me awake. I called Vic at 2 a.m., voice hushed over Lily's monitor. What else you got on Riley? He yawned, then sobered. She's got connections.
Doll.
Ex-cop boyfriend who handles problems. And Ethan's not clean offshore accounts. Skimming bonuses. But here's the twist. That sculpture theft? Tied to you. Your signature on a shady sales receipt. Funneled through a shell LLC. Ethan's. But your name. My blood ran cold. He'd framed me subtly, deniably, to bind me closer. The crime I'd borne? It was his gift. A chain disguised as love. Rage morphed to resolve. No more passive. I hacked his email, password unchanged since college. Our anniversary. The irony bitter. Buried in deleted folders, correspondence with Riley. Plotting the frame. Nova's too soft. Pin the loss on her. She'll stay loyal. And worse, plans to relocate to Seattle. Her job transfer. Lily's custody flipped via Nova's instability. Instability. They'd paint me as the unhinged one, the vengeful ex unraveling. Time to flip the narrative. I started small, leaked the embezzlement tip to a tech blogger. Anonymous, with just enough to spark investigation. Nexus stock dipped 2% overnight. Ethan's name trended on Reddit's r/tech drama. He called. Furious. What the hell? Nova? Sabotaging my career. Your career? I laughed into the phone. Lily napping nearby. You sabotaged our life. This is karma.
Ethan.
American style, pull yourself up by your own bootstraps. Right? Except yours are made of lies. He hung up, but not before hissing. You'll regret this. Regret? The word fueled me. I met Riley next uninvited, crashing her Pilates class in West Hollywood. Matt slick with sweat and pretense. She emerged from the studio in Lululemon, ponytail swinging, spotting me by her BMW. Nova Harlow? Stalking now? Classy. I blocked her door, dossier in hand. End it. Leave my family alone. She smirked, that shark smile. Family? Honey. Ethan's mine. Always was. You were the placeholder, the artsy distraction till he outgrew suburbia. Outgrew. Like I was a starter home. He told me about the glitch. How you pushed him to steal code. How you let me take the fall. Her eyes flickered. First crack. He told you that? Traitor. But she recovered, flipping to sympathy. Look,
Nova.
Ethan's weak. I can help you. Dirt on him enough for full custody.
The house.
We team up. Team up? The offer hung. Controversial as hell. Betray him with his mistress? Part of me, the tired mom, the betrayed wife, considered it. No one right. No one wrong, just survivors clawing. But her eyes gleamed too sharp, the chameleon shedding skin. Pass, I said, tossing the papers at her feet. But Quantum Edge might want this. Espionage doesn't play in boardrooms. She lunged for them, nails raking air. You bitch. Security intervened, hauling me off as disruptive. But the seed was planted. By morning, her LinkedIn updated, exploring new opportunities. Flipped again. Ethan showed up at dusk, pounding the door. Lily hid behind the couch, scared. I let him in. Bar the door. What now? I demanded. He collapsed on the stairs, head and hands vulnerable, almost human. Riley's out. Fired. It's over. Nova. Please. For us.
Us.
The word tugged. Memories flooding. Beach bonfires. Lily's first steps into his arms. Was this the truce? Or another ploy? Then my phone buzzed. Vic. Incoming. Audio file. Ethan's call to Riley. Last night.
Listen.
I played it on speaker. Heart thundering. Ethan's voice. Smooth, babe. Nova's cracking. One more push, fake a breakdown. We'll get custody. Then Seattle. You and me. The room spun. Lily whimpered. Ethan's head snapped up. Horror dawning. Nova.
Out.
This time, I meant forever. But as he fled, the climax loomed, not a bang, but a slow, Tense unraveling. Who was the villain? Him? Her?
Me.
With my leaks and lies? The line blurred. And America watched. Weeks bled into a gray November. LA's smog choking the sun like unspoken accusations. The divorce papers hit Ethan's inbox courtesy of Lena, ironclad, demanding the house, primary custody, half his 401k. He countersued, of course, citing emotional distress and parental alienation, painting me as the harpy who'd leaked his secrets, tanked his career. Nexus suspended him pending investigation. Quantum blackballed Riley. Tabloids nibbled. Tech bros messy split. Art wife versus corporate siren. Fans picking sides online. Team Nova trended for the underdog mom. Ethan deserves better for the framed family man. Controversy crackled like dry brush fire. Readers debating in comment sections. Was I justified? Or just bitter? Heroine or homewrecker by proxy? Lily felt the tremors. Bedwetting resumed. Her drawings turned dark, stick figures with storm clouds overhead. I enrolled her in therapy. A soft-spoken shrink in Beverly Hills who billed like a mogul but cooed reassurances. Kids are resilient. Nova.
But you?
Process your anger.
Anger?
It was a volcano.
Capped but rumbling.
Nights. I'd pace the empty living room. Whiskey burning my throat. Ethan's brand. A petty reclaiming, sketching revenge in charcoal. Riley's face melting into code glitches. Ethan's grin cracking like porcelain. Vic uncovered the final thread. The offshore account. $250,000 siphoned from Nexus bonuses. Laundered through a Cayman shell. Riley's ex-capo? On payroll. Securing the transfers. The frame on my sculpture? Ethan's idea. But Riley's execution, she'd posed as a buyer. Fencing it to fund their Vegas weekends. The crime I'd borne wasn't just the glitch. It was a web. Sticky with their deceit. Me the fly, thrashing its center. Armed. I went nuclear. Met Lena at a taqueria off Olvera Street. Tacos steaming as we plotted. Wire fraud. Embezzlement. Feds could indict. But twist. Immunity for you. If you flip. Testify against them. Flip. The word echoed Riley's offer. Controversial as hell. Betray my betrayer to save myself? But for Lily? No choice. I wired the evidence to the FBI's tip line. Anonymous. With a chaser to the LA Times. By dawn. Headline screamed, Silicon Valley scandal. Execs in embezzlement probe. Ethan called from a burner. Voice shattered.
Nova. You destroyed me.
Suspended. Frozen assets. How do we explain this to Lily?
We.
I scoffed, watching her sleep via baby cam. You destroyed us. The glitch. The affair. The frame. I bore it all, thinking love meant sacrifice. But you schemed, flipped every lie into leverage. Silence.
Nem a soube real. Raw.
I was scared. The pressure startup life. It's eat or be eaten. Riley promised escape. You grounded me, but it felt like chains. Grounded.
Chains.
His words twisted the knife, forcing the question, had I clipped his wings? Turned ambition to resentment? No one purely right, our marriage a co-conspiracy of neglect. The climax hit mid-December. Hoarfrost rhyming the San Gabriels. Ethan demanded a meet, for Lily's Christmas, at our old UCLA spot. The quad strung with twinkling lights. Students hustling to finals. I arrived bundled in wool. Pepper spray in pocket. Lily's gift, a locket with our photos, tucked in my coat. He waited on a bench. Gaunt. Unshaven. The golden boy reduced to ghost. You're here, he said. Standing. No hug. Just space humming with tension. For her. I handed the gift. Sign the papers. Ethan. Walk away clean. He took it. Fingers brushing mine, electric. Unwanted.
Clean?
After you fed the feds my life. Bitterness edged his tone. But eyes pleaded. One last chance. Nova. Drop the suit. We rebuild. Rebuild. The fantasy flickered. Therapy. Date nights. Lily's face lighting at a united front. But then Riley appeared, striding from shadows like a bad sequel. Coat flapping. Eyes wild. Ethan? You said she wouldn't show. He flinched. Riley. Go.
No.
She whirled on me, venom spilling. You think you're the victim? I built him, pushed him past your mediocrity. And you framing us with your little PI games? Framing? The irony burned.
Me?
You too framed me, theft, the fall. I just unraveled the thread. She laughed. Manic.
Thread?
It's a noose.
Bitch.
My cop? He's got your number. Accidents happen. Thread explicit now. The air crackled. Ethan stepped between. Hands up. Stop. Both of you. To her. It's over.
The
feds are circling. To me. Nova. She's unhinged. Help me end this. Flip. Again. Ethan. Playing both sides. Begging alliance against the monster he'd betted. Riley lunged. Nails out. I dodged. Pepper spray whipping free. Cloud burst. Her screams echoing as students gawked. Phones out. Viral in seconds. Ethan grabbed her arm. Twisting, not gentle. Enough. Sirens wailed distant. The chaos peaked, her clawing at him. Him shoving back. Me frozen. The locket glinting on the ground like a fallen star.
Who to save?
The husband who'd betrayed. Or the mistress who'd enabled. Sides split in my soul. Avenge the betrayal. Or spare the father. I scooped the locket. Bolted as cops swarmed. In the car. Heart jackhammering. I glimpsed the truth. No heroes. Just wreckage. Ethan subdued Riley. Both cuffed. Headlines brewing bigger scandal. Back home. Lily stirred. Mommy? Santa coming. Soon. Baby. I held her. The house quiet but for rain tapping windows. Days later. Indictments dropped. Ethan and Riley. Conspiracy charges. He flipped first. Testimony for reduced sentence. Spilling her deeper crimes. She countered. Claiming abuse. Painting him the manipulator. Courts churned. Custody battles loomed. The twist? A letter from Ethan. Jailhouse scrawl. I framed you because I loved you too much to lose you. Stayed silent on the glitch to protect your art dreams. Forgive? For Lily. Lies? Or buried truth? He'd borne secrets too, my undiagnosed depression post-Lily. Covered by his sick days. Sacrifice masked as scheme. Debate raged online. Monster or misguided. I won custody. The house. But victory tasted ash. Happy ending? Tragic farce? Lily thrived. My canvases sold. Betrayal storm fetched 5 figures at Carla's next show. But nights. I traced his handwriting. Wondering if revenge healed or just scarred deeper. America loves a comeback.
But mine?
It's unfinished. Ethan's out in 5. Parole possible. Riley? Vanished to who knows. Flipping to a new con.
Me?
I paint on. Wildfire dimmed, but not out. Touch lingers. After all, not hers.
But ours.
And in the end, that's the real controversy. Can love survive the revenge it births? Or does it just evolve into something darker?